So man, them Autobots sure are fuckable, huh?
Absolutely. Anyways,
You say that like Megatron isn't the most fuckable Transformer of them all.
Okay! Life! 20-something! Come on!
Hi everyone, welcome to 20-something, and I believe if I'm incorrect, I got distracted by talking about fucking Transformers. This is our last episode of Season 1!
Woo!
Hey.
Yay!
Woo! We did it! We actually
have
did
to-
a full thing.
We have to pretend to kill off a character and then bring him back in the first few
we
minutes
got-
of the second season. So Will,
Damn
we
it, you
got a-
spoiled my joke for the end. I was gonna kill myself. Come on, Nick.
Why
Oh, man.
you?
We got a full anime season worth of episodes.
That
Wow.
is true, we do. Holy
Let's hope this
shit.
is a better ending than apparently Wonder Egg Priority had a pretty shit end. So
one what?
Well, not my problem.
Wonder Egg Priority.
Never heard of it.
One Direction.
Well, that's the problem.
One Direction was my favorite.
How come
anime.
they get anime and I don't?
It'll never be as good as Cory in the House. Speaking of, you hear what
Uh,
happened with that guy? Anyway.
What? What?
Okay.
What happened?
Okay.
You did-
I will
okay.
Send me a link in chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you a link. If I don't want us to talk about Chris Chan, then I won't talk about this. So, anyways, so we a lot of us, mainly me and Erin, did not think we would get this far
Yeah.
in making this podcast.
I'm proud of us. We really
And
did
I'm
it.
sure by the time, yeah, we really
Did
did.
it.
Holy fucking shit.
We had drama. We had comedy. We
We
had unrequited love
Whoa.
between Nick and Optimus Prime.
Okay.
I
was
no,
worried.
That was Victoria. No,
And then you
Victoria
also
was the
had,
one
like-
saying she wanted to fuck Optimus Prime.
That is
Now
true, but
we
apparently
only just
Will's
found out
trying to
about
get
it.
into my territory, for fuck's sake.
That little character twist in Victoria, that was like an M. Night Shyamalan twist we just found out about. With you,
What
Nick,
are
it
you
was
talking
pretty
about
obvious.
a character fucking twist? What? If okay, let's be clear. If y'all didn't know I was a monster fucker by now, then we have a
Oh
problem.
my god.
Optimus is not a monster, but he falls into the category because he is robot.
You know,
so whatever.
I feel like I'm more of a robot fucker than a monster fucker. Like, I had to think for Vision in Avengers, so like, I feel like that falls.
Nah,
in
Vision's too human. for
Too
me.
human. What about Ultron? Was it
Yes.
normal to
Is that
thirst
your
for him?
thing?
Now Ultron,
Because
yeah,
Ultron
there
was
we
kind
go.
of hot. I'm just saying.
He also
What-
had his
what about
paw
Thanos?
issues.
Thanos,
Thanos
no.
is
Fuck
purple.
no.
Thanos isn't my type.
He's a shit father.
He's a shit
Negative
dad.
points
He,
all the
you know,
way
he
down.
doesn't have hair. Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
too
have
big.
hair.
My dad doesn't have hair.
And
Well, now I don't want to
your
fuck your
dad's not
dad, so
Thanos.
there you go.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
that feels like initially like
I
so sad, but at the same point it becomes threatening of just like, oh, you're not gonna fuck my
So
dad.
in case
'cause
you
he's
want
bald.
to
Wait, you're
know,
gonna fuck
people
my dad?
listening,
Like,
this episode is supposed to be the really depressing one where we talk about our real life.
well, not depressing.
Yeah, but we're-
I don't
like
think it was-
hopeful.
it's
Oh,
literally just
we're-
like what we're doing.
I love that we're avoiding talking about like actual future plans because none of us want to address
Oh yeah,
it.
that's true.
We're just talking about
let me
fucking.
officially. Oh yeah, let me. Well, that's kind of should be part of our future as well.
Well.
But we'll get to like the
God,
we'll
I
get to the
wish.
sex podcast episode at some point in
Mhm.
season 2. I'm sure.
I'm so
it's gonna
excited
happen.
for it.
I want
we
it
need,
to happen.
We need it to happen.
We should
But,
save it for episode 69.
Hey.
That's too far away.
This is a stupid
Fuck,
idea,
dude.
and I love it.
Oh god,
That's
I
a
cannot wait that
fantastic
long.
idea.
But let me solidify the topic that we did agree on for this episode, which was mainly talking about where we are now in our lives and where we want to be in the future, because we all have at least one college graduate certificate. We did college. Holy fuck.
We did college
That was
Yeah, the
together.
whole time.
I'm so proud of
For
us.
the
From
whole
now-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point in time when this is recorded, it's been like, what, 2-3 months?
3 months.
Fuck yeah, Jesus Christ.
We graduated
Yeah, I know,
3
right?
months ago. Who would have thought?
Jeez.
Some of us are working, some of us are going to school again, some of us don't know what the fuck we're gonna do.
Some
but
of
we'll
us
find out
are
who these
still
specific people
dealing
are.
with McDonald's customers.
Oof.
And others are still making a etchy dating sim that's doing really
What?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna give you more praise on that later when we actually get into the meat of this
Guys,
episode.
can we
When we
not
get
say
to
this
it.
on the
I think it's
episode? As
Okay,
far as
okay,
my
well,
parents
okay.
know.
Fine.
Okay.
Oh.
Private
But-
project.
Okay, Nick's parent etchy means like super wholesome and fun.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
Yeah.
It's Christian.
But do we want to
Yeah,
like
with
kind of go
Christian
around
witchcraft.
the metaphorical Discord room and say kind of where we're at and what we're hoping to
I'll
do in
save
the
myself.
future?
I'll save myself for last because
For
I have
last?
no clue. I'll be honest. I was
Okay.
thinking about this most of the week, and I don't fucking know, man.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do we want to start with Will then, our excited boy?
Oh god.
Do you want to hand it off to someone else already?
No, okay, so like wait, it was like where we are now.
Where we are
Yeah.
now,
Where
and
we are now.
where we see ourselves in the future, or do we not see
Or where
ourselves
we wanna
anywhere,
be.
or goals?
Yeah.
Right now, I see myself at rock bottom, and in the future, I see myself somehow lower than that.
Oh, buddy, no.
Okay, now legitimately, what are your feelings?
Okay, so where I am right now, like genuinely, I'm just like, I couldn't really tell you. There's some stuff I don't want to say just in case like certain. I'll go more in specific with you. It's no one like bad, but like just in case someone
Mm-hmm.
is listening, a certain someone might be listening to this, and I don't. That person's kind of a blabbermouth, and I don't want things getting around.
Okay, fair enough.
But where I am now, just like I'm working a job part time, looking to get a full time one, hopefully there. And then in the future, I would love. Obviously, I know this is going to be kind of a no shit answer given who we all are and what we've all done, but writing something. I want to write a story that's never been done before about a reluctant father figure taking on a younger child, bringing them from point A to point B. I know it's never been done before,
Mhm.
but you know what? I believe in myself. I think I can make a
Listen, Will,
genre.
I'm gonna
believe
be
in you
honest.
too.
I don't understand how you could ever make that concept real. It just seems too complex.
It seems too
Yeah.
unrealistic, you
just-
know?
Just point A to point B. What is this?
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
is this?
it's,
What do you mean you get to have relationships with people?
Yeah, false.
Wholesome,
Bull-
happy? What?
Bullshit.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't happen in
Loyalty,
reality,
never
doesn't
heard of
happen
her.
in fiction, it's all fake.
Oh
Never.
no. I mean, like Berserk, The Last of Us, God of War, The Mandalorian. I mean, what is that?
Yeah,
Get
I
that
know,
shit
right?
out of here.
What are you talking about, Will? Those things don't exist.
Oh yeah, I mean, in my head they do because I'm gonna be making them.
Right, of
You know
course.
what? Fair enough.
And then I'm thinking about just kind of dropping the ball with the sequel to that Last of Us one I mentioned.
Yep, that's a good plan. I think that'll really make people happy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. Right now I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm giving myself a little bit to just kind of accept because, given the fact that I'm done school now, presumably forever. God, I hope so. I don't.
Mhm.
As cool as the people I've been are, and that was really the highlight of it. I'm
Damn
really
right.
not eager to go back. So I'm giving myself a little while to sort of just almost like one last summer, before
Yeah.
I mean like I need to start taking this shit seriously. I need to be an adult,
Wow.
be responsible and provide for myself or whatever that means. So yeah, no, I'm just giving myself a little. I have like not a bucket list. Just a list of before. I'm giving myself until the end of this month, which is August when we're recording it, to just kind of just free time for myself.
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
sure.
I've earned a bit, so I'm taking this for myself. And yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. Here's the thing. I'm going to make a blanket statement. The worst part about being an adult, and this is still on topic,
Yes.
the worst part about being an adult, your gifts kind of lose all value when you realize you can just buy shit for yourself.
Pretty much,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It's gotten to the
Yeah,
point with
like-
like my mom and me where we're just like, don't buy me stuff, just give me money. That's
Yeah,
what I did
that's
for
where
her
I'm
for
at with my
Mother's Day and
family.
her birthday.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm literally like, just give me like PlayStation cards, gas money, socks, I'll be fine.
Things that'll be useful
You
to
know.
my adult life.
Yeah, because it's same thing with video games now. Like, Well, I guess now, because I got the Switch, I can sort of make some more exceptions, but because I got the digital PS5,
Yeah.
so now even for Christmas, I can't be like, can you get me a physical copy of whatever? Because I can't even play it then. But yeah, no, because you can just... The worst part is, though, the temptation also to buy new games that you're looking forward to is so big.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is worse
Like-
than being like slightly wine drunk one night and then waking up the next morning realizing you bought like an $80 game that you really can't afford, but you just really wanted to play. Like,
Yeah.
it-
But at
Aaron,
least-
do I have to monitor you while you're drunk now? Just like text me before you do
no,
these things so I
it's
can call
honestly,
you.
I don't make. That was more of an out there example. I don't actually make impulse purchases when I'm drunk. That's the one
Okay,
thing I
good.
pride myself on. But I
Okay,
do
good.
make impulse purchases sober, which is somehow worse.
I don't
So-
buy things
Yeah.
when I'm drunk. I just text people and bother them because, like, I want to talk to people and, like, bother them with my drunkenness. You know, where I
I
feel,
don't-
like,
I
extra
You're
isolate-
just
shameless.
describing what I do sober, and I feel bad for it.
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah,
Although I would
Yeah, 'cause,
love
like, there's
to
no-
meet, I would love to meet Drunk Nick for sure. That would be funny.
Oh, you'll want to meet Drunk Nick.
Dude,
You
us
sure?
drunk is gonna be a
I don't
nightmare.
know what he is, and I don't want to know.
Oh, I
Fair,
wanna.
fair,
I wanna
fair.
meet
I'm
him,
curious,
get to know him.
but you know,
I'm
it's
off
okay.
the chain enough as is.
It's
Any
like-
more, and I'll be a fucking
It's like
maniac.
Jennifer Lawrence when she talks about her alter egos when she's like
Yes.
different levels of drunk and what kind of drink she has. Like Jesus Christ, she's pretty funny. I will give her that.
I love her. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but watching it was like an entire segment of Ellen by Ellen, but whatever. I don't really care about Ellen. I'm gonna be honest. I have no strong feelings. But like,
you don't care about a sociopath?
is she?
Really?
Wow.
I don't fucking know what's going on with her.
I mean, you hear the... Do you not hear the horror stories from her employees?
No. I don't pay
Yeah,
attention to
her
Ellen.
Employees...
Okay, I don't want to get too off on controversy about Ellen. I'm gonna bring it back to what
Okay,
we're
We'll
doing.
talk about it later, Will.
I
We'll talk
do-
about it later.
I do want to bring up. I don't know if I'll include this in the episode or not. Probably will. It's fine. But I just want to say too, because I feel like Victoria's mentioned a couple times like our surprise that this happened and that this got done. And I want it on record
Yeah.
that like every doubt I've had about this podcast has not been at the expense of you guys. It's been me knowing myself and knowing how many projects I've started and not seen through to the end. And the fact that we actually are recording a season finale is like really wild to me.
I feel that
Oh my God, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's weird.
wild.
It's weird to be like I've finished two big projects in my life. I have finished a video game and I have finished a book of poetry. And they're done and they're out of the way. But I've never finished anything beyond that. So to have like a finale of anything else is like, wow, I can do things. It's really validating.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's fun, and it's been... Sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
I should say, and the fact that, like, it's... People are watching it and downloading
Yeah,
this is
it's
insane.
obviously we're not like, you know, A-tier YouTubers yet, but we actually have like a good number of views, and that's scary
Yeah.
to me, but also so fucking cool.
Honestly, I'd be okay
I-
even if we didn't become A-tier YouTubers because, well...
No, God, that would be terrifying. Because
Like,
then we'd have
YouTube,
people like
in
micromanaging
general-
us.
Oh yeah, well, it's YouTube in general is fucking, like... It's a good platform in some senses, but has gotten progressively worse, and it's like a trash fire.
Yeah.
Also, the other YouTubers would be in the same, like, category as, or, like, on the same tier as, I don't really care to talk to or associate with. Like, strictly on a business thing, sure. But as
Mhm.
friends, I don't think I want to be fucking friends with you. Considering
No, I
the way
don't
that
think
you
I
act
will.
in public in front of many people, even if it's supposed to be a persona, it's like, okay, well, you're making a conscious decision. I don't want to be
Yeah.
around that.
It's like it's like that dude who, when the Szechuan sauce meme was going around, just jumped on the McDonald's counter and started screaming "Pickle Rick."
I
mean,
was
there was an
so
argument that he made.
thankful that was before I started working at McDonald's.
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, and it's like that where, you know, you're just kind of sure you can say you're doing it as a bit. You're still doing it, and you still look
You're
like
still
an
doing
asshole.
it at the expense of other people's comfort.
I have such
Yeah.
a big problem, and I know like a lot of people have problems with them, but like fucking prank YouTubers who go out of their way to make people
God.
uncomfortable for clicks. Like that is the worst conscious thing. Like, why do you have a moral compass? Do you realize what you're doing is shit? Or
Here's
are
the
you
thing.
so focused on the numbers that just empathy doesn't exist to you anymore?
Well,
Never
that's the
do
thing.
it for the numbers. Do it because you enjoy it. Like,
Well, here's the
Matt
thing.
Pat
Yeah.
Do you
Game Theory
enjoy
enjoys
being
it.
an asshole?
But that, yeah, I'm specifically
Yeah.
saying like prank YouTubers, like the assholes who go out of their way to ruin other people's day for laughs. But like when it comes to YouTubers who actually like enjoy what they're doing,
Yeah.
I don't watch him as much anymore, but I loved Matt Pat like so hard because he was great. He
Yeah.
just did what he wanted to do, and like
Yeah.
him and Game Grumps are like two of the biggest YouTube stars, quote unquote, that I would like love to meet in person someday just to pick their brains.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I would absolutely
I-
pick Aaron's brain. 100%.
I want to pick Danny's brain really hard.
I want to hang out with Erin just for like an hour and then play a game that we both hate so he can rage at it.
Yes,
I'd be fine with that.
What a goal!
Yeah.
What a goal!
Yeah, I do want to. I've been watching a lot of that YouTuber CDog VA, who's kind of like
Oh,
an
yeah.
anime
Oh, I've heard
YouTuber.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he just seems so nice and genuine, and I'm like, oh, he's so fun to watch as well.
Mhm.
And I just appreciate that.
I'm just always happy whenever Scott the Woz does another hour-long
Yes,
epic with a musical, and I'm like, yes.
He's another one that I would love to just like sit with and chat with. 'cause,
I want to
my
sit
God.
down with him and be like, I love all your music. I love everything you do. Don't ever.
I want to sit down with him and be like, dude, you were fantastic in Spider-Man Remastered.
He was my favorite part about the remaster.
I could say that to like 3 different guys I'm friends with because I like
Yeah.
skinny white twinks. I kind of hang around around en masse. So like,
Same.
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
see, there we go. Yeah,
Here we
see,
are.
they're my boys every time. Oh,
Me and the
God.
boys.
Yeah, me and the boys. They all look the same, but their personalities are distinct enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that Office meme where Pam is like, Corbin wants you to find the difference between these pictures.
It's the
They're
same picture. Yeah.
It's the same picture.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's bring it back. Who would
Oh,
like
yeah.
to discuss next? Their
I can go.
lives? McDonald's
Go,
boy.
Nick.
Go right ahead.
Oh,
Call him
McDonald's
that.
boy.
Nick Boy.
Nick,
I
you are
love
more
you,
than
it's
McDonald's.
okay.
I hope you know that.
Nick Donalds.
One day
Oh,
McDonald's
honestly.
will die.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that day. I'm gonna be stepping on that damn clown's grave.
Wow.
Hi, boss.
He's not your boss.
Got
He's
it.
only your mascot. It's fine.
I mean, what's the difference?
No, I mean my boss might listen to this one day.
Listen, I'm
is
sure
your
that
boss a
they'll
clown?
understand. Well, okay, well, they'll get the hatred for McDonald's. I don't know
Oh,
if
no.
they'll enjoy us talking shit about McDonald's, but at the same time, what are they gonna do?
McDonald's, you have bomb fries.
Like half,
You do
like,
have great fries.
they
Yeah,
have,
like,
and
they're
no
I
one
ate
skinny
some
as
like
hell.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they're
Like-
so salty and it's so good.
They
I don't
never
like when
put
they're
enough
too
salt.
salty.
I always have to get an extra thing there and just dump it all on.
I
Bruh.
don't-
Nick, tell us about your life.
Yeah, tell us about your life.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a lot of things now. I'm trying to do some games on the side, which is weird considering the fact that I have never felt the urge to ever make a video game. Then I met you folks all in script writing, and then I just woke up one day and said,
yeah.
I want to make a game. And
I
now
do
I have
want to
like
make a
3.
note on that, and like I say this out of
3,
pure,
shit, dude.
I say this out of pure love and respect for you, Nick. Like, don't ever take my quote unquote jealousy seriously. But there's just this thing in my head that's like, I've literally wanted to be a game designer since like the minute I was conscious. And now you're here with all of these fucking Patreon supporters and shit, and I'm like, damn, he's really
Yeah.
out there living the life I want, huh? Fuck.
To be fair, it's also in a niche. Well, not so much a niche,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
also in like a genre and with a demographic that's a consistent response too. Like you will never
Yeah,
not
people-
have that audience.
Yeah.
People love etchy.
But
Yeah.
my,
Like fun.
Love the
vanilla.
wholesome. Yeah, love the wholesome.
My plan or my point is I'm proud of you, Nick. A little jealous, but very
Thank you.
proud. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got like I want to make like a big RPG pixelated thing. One game, and then another one I want to make like a dating sim that's essentially like a dating sim with Pinky in the brain, and you're the brain, and best girl is Pinky, and that's
Can I
the
be
premise.
Nice.
No, you won't
wanna-
be Pinky. You be brain.
But he wants to
Pinky,
be Pinky.
we're going to take over the world.
Yeah, that's literally how I want to try and end it. One of the endings, I'm just gonna have that bit.
I love that.
I just want to say, I imagine Erin right now is like, yeah, I'm so like happy for you, Nick. Meanwhile, she just has like a sword against one of those like smiting,
No, I'm
those
genuinely-
It's like a
blacksmiths
voodoo doll of me.
Hey, listen, I just want it
We
out
do
there.
sell voodoo
Fucking-
dolls in our store.
A, those are for protection and good spells. B,
Okay.
I urged you to do this, Nick. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, she was the one that made me do it.
Pleased. I feel like
And
I feel
Erin,
like
you
I'm looking
do
at
it.
this. I'm looking at this like thing that I created just like by freaking domino effect, and I'm like, yes, go.
Oh, my feelings when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, Nick, you're doing awesome. I gotta step my
Right?
fucking
We're
game
so
up.
proud.
Like,
It's really inspiring
Yes.
to just see someone I graduated with doing.
It's
a cool
not.
thing.
It's not.
Yeah, like
It is.
it's awesome.
it is, dude. It's genuinely like I don't mean this in like a serious way, but I do get kind of jealous when I see that, you know, Erin's got a book. Nick, you're making a game. Victoria, I will be completely honest, I don't know what you have going on.
I don't know what I
sorry.
have either. I'll be honest. I think we're at the
but
same
I hear
level, Will.
Yeah. But I hear that, and I'm like, man, I'm so happy for you guys. Rev's chainsaw. So happy.
Chainsaw,
That's how
man.
I feel hearing some of your stories sometimes.
So we're
can't
all
remember
just
what
here
one.
sitting in
Yeah.
immense self-hatred of ourselves and immense
I don't know
awe
what
of
the
each
fuck you're
other, and
talking
isn't
about.
that
Yep.
great?
Imagine us as a
That's-
four-way image of that spy versus spy thing where they're shaking hands, but they both have bombs behind their back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
One day
That's
I will
what we are.
betray you all so hard, and while I'm sitting on the Graham Norton show, if he's still alive by then, I will be like, yeah, I made such good friends. They're all dead now. Anyways.
I
Yeah,
killed
I
them.
killed him. I killed him myself.
I killed them all. I took
Anyways.
Optimus Prime from one of them, and he is now my lover.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
watch
at the end of life,
watch my new film
And then at
coming out about my about four friends that had a very loving relationship, and one of them raises to stardom while the others die. Anyways, stay tuned.
Anyway,
and
moving
then it
on.
ends, and then it ends as that meme from Infinity War of being like of Nick, and he sees Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime just says to him, "What did it cost you?"
Everything.
Everything but me smiling with a fur coat.
Yes.
Nick, continue.
go
So
on.
yeah, I've got a lot of writings I'm trying to do. I'm trying, as I've said before, I'm trying to write this weird Transformers spec script of how I'd do a show. I got two or three. I have at least two solid show ideas. Like one of them's a really fun adventure thing that I came up with. And it's like, oh, that'd be fun to do. And then another one's like the magnum opus, so crazy it just might work. I need to see this on screen or else I will never die. Kind of idea. That
Those are
is
always the good
so
ones.
so stupid that I'm like, I know for a fact it will either never happen or will be heavily altered.
Nick, let me say to you what probably the greatest mind this earth has ever
Is it
known
Rick?
said to the internet.
Okay.
Don't let your dreams be
God damn
dreams.
it.
Don't let your memes be
Just-
dreams. Just
just
do
do
it.
it.
That is
Just do
true.
it.
Honestly, as much as that has turned into a huge meme, there is like some genuinely good advice behind like yesterday you said tomorrow. Like we keep
Yeah.
putting stuff off. Like just fucking commit to the bit. Roll
Yeah.
the hit, you
Yeah.
know? You just gotta go.
And sometimes if
Like,
you
I
feel
just
like
need-
things aren't working, like really, no matter how much, it's okay to drop the thing or like throw it on the back burner or whatever and start something new. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
don't shit on yourself or hate yourself because you couldn't finish a project. I've been doing that for years.
Same.
And
I
here I
still
am.
kind of do
It's-
it when I don't finish a project.
Oh, I
I'm
still do
getting
it.
better at
Yeah.
being nice to myself, but also like I just like finishing things if I can.
But funny enough, I'm
Yeah, I
still
have-
proud of the fact that I was still able to finish things rather than not finishing anything at all, because that was my
True.
greatest fear in life, that I was just incapable of completing things that were important to me. When it's other
Yeah.
people that are like spurring them on, like during the script writing program and everything, I had the like expectation of like getting work done and having people critique it and everything, because
Yeah.
it was more so like it felt, of course, like school. I need to get a grade so I could pass and have the
Mhm.
certificate.
That was the whole reason why I did the script writing
Yeah.
course. I wanted to write, and
But at the
like
same
it wasn't
time,
pushing
yeah.
me to.
Can I be honest? I think the whole reason I took this, because the screenwriting was actually my second program. I did TV broadcasting for 2 years before that,
Mhm.
and I think the main reason why I did script writing was because I just wanted another year without having to pay rent.
You know what? That's totally fair.
That's
Yeah.
really valid. I was a person who took the scriptwriting program because I essentially needed a break year. Not saying that like the work we did wasn't a lot, because my god, it was.
Oh
But
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
like we did a lot of work, but compared to the program that I was in before and that I'm going back into after, like I needed a break from the non-stop code and the non-stop
You needed to
pressures.
switch your gears, yeah.
And I needed to
I-
actually, because I've been writing since I was a kid and never really took it seriously and never considered that it could be like a career. And I needed for once to like take some sort of writing program and just realize to
Yeah.
myself that like, no, I could do this if I wanted. And
Well,
I kind of do want to.
The course I took before script writing was like pre-animation and illustration, which was essentially just an excuse to try and get me better at drawing, because like I want to write for animation, I just can't draw for shit. So I took
Yeah.
that course to try and get better, and people say I did get better, and my friends in that course, who are gods to me in terms of drawing skill, are all like, yeah, no, you're good. And I'm like, whatever. And then I took script writing because, like, this was something I had confidence in.
Mm.
Like, I had never written a script before, sure, but I mean, like, I can
Writing
tell a
is
story.
writing. It's fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did really damn well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah, gamer.
So where, Nick, do you have any ideas where you like ultimately want to end up? Do you want to be, the game designer? Do you want to be the anime writer? Like,
I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like,
you know what? I love that.
100%.
I'm
yeah.
very much
Yeah.
a kind of guy who wants, like, I always said to myself, I have no interest in making a game. If one day, like, say I do make a show and they ask me, like, hey, do you want to make a game? I'd totally be into it, just to
Mhm.
have that experience. Like, I wanna make a live action movie one day just for the experience of it. I wanna
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
do
I-
all these
I totally
things
get,
just for the experience.
Like as much as I don't like Bethesda, if Todd Howard came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to be the voice of the main character in the new Elder Scrolls?" I'd be like, "Fuck yes."
Yeah, because it's
That's-
a job.
Yeah,
It's
of
experience
course.
for you.
And it would
Yeah.
further along your look. So long as you're not the one like doing the shitty Bethesda things, and you're not
Yeah.
like actively
Yeah.
okaying it. It's a
Mhm.
job is a job,
Yeah.
especially when you're as young as we are in the industry. Like
Yeah.
any door is still a door.
Yeah, no.
Which does kind of break my heart though when I hear that animators for a lot of anime get paid nothing pretty
It
much.
sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really
Honestly.
shitty,
And I'm like,
really shitty industry.
okay, yeah, like going off on a bit of a thing. I hear stories, but like I know I bring this up all the time, and it is basically the Godzilla to my Nick, but the Chainsaw Man trailer. I heard a story that a lot of the team behind that got paid only $2 or so for that,
Oh,
which
God.
upsets me.
That's
because-
terrible.
I'm gonna make a blanket statement, and I mean no disrespect to any voice actors, but animation people deserve way more pay than anyone else on a project.
Yeah.
ever.
100%.
Yeah, they do.
And I know why they're not, because there's a lot more people working behind the scenes than there are on screen. But at the end of the day, And again, no shame to voice actors. I love voice actors like Troy Baker and Nolan North. They're some of my favorite people on the planet. But you see that Chainsaw Man trailer, and you watch it, and you're like, the actors should not be getting paid more than the people working thankless hours during the day and during the night for fucking nothing.
It hurts to hear that 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a professional artist. I do commission sometimes. You guys know this. Like, fuck. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the
no,
idea
you
of
do
animating,
art, and
I've
then
only
we force you to let you take payment. We force
Yeah.
money
Exactly.
down your throats. That's how that
we're
works.
bitches.
We break
sons of
into
bitches.
your house and we're like reverse robbers.
Yeah,
Just
we
throw
just
money
put
at me
money
and-
in places.
You just, like, you guys are surrounding my bed and you just have a bag of cash and you dump it on me. You're like, no, stop it. No.
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
just
whatever
wanna
you
do
want,
charity. You want to do charity. We make it so that it's commissions because you deserve
We're all
money.
just like in the ski mask and we're like, take the money!
please. God damn it.
Yeah, but we're not wearing ski masks because we're trying to be sneaky. We're wearing ski masks because, let's be honest, it's going to be like winter in Canada.
Yeah.
It's going to be freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue. Continue what you were saying.
Yeah.
I forgot what the fuck I was good. Oh, right. Art.
Oh.
About commissions.
But, like, it's so hard. And for artists, when it comes to animation, I cannot imagine doing that unless I was in love with the idea of drawing in general. That's what writing is for me. I always knew when I was a kid I wanted to be a storyteller. I wanted to be up there, I wanted to be in front of people, I wanted to tell them what was in my head. And there was a lot going on in my head.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, thank you. But like, it was hard at the beginning because I didn't know what medium to take. I didn't know how to translate what was going on in my head and in my heart out there, so it had as much meaning to me as it should for other people. So like, when it got to just storytelling as a whole and finding writing, I was like, this is it. Even if it hurts me, I will be doing this till I fucking die. And
Amen.
that is the thing that
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
the
people
plan.
have to remember when you get into a profession, especially within the arts. Visual, writing, music, doesn't fucking matter. You have to be in love with your art. Otherwise, you will be in pain throughout the entire time when you're getting to the top.
It's
Because
not even that.
starting out,
You're still gonna be in pain.
oh
You
yeah,
just have to love
Yeah.
the end results of that pain. It has
you
to
still
be
have to
worth
love
it.
like the idea that even if you don't get into the industry, even if you don't get that high, blah blah blah, like you still have to be happy with what you're doing. In our case, it is writing.
Yeah.
Even if I don't
Yeah.
get into the industry today, or like I don't work with Supergiant games because I think that'd be pretty cool, well, I'm still gonna be
Fucking
writing.
awesome.
I'm still gonna be doing
Yeah.
like D&D because I found a way to make it work for me, and I love entertaining people with a story, especially one that they can be a part of. That's still gonna be a part of my soul. If anyone tries to fucking take that from me, I will actually destroy you and everything you stand for. So
You insult me.
you
I think my
insult
goal-
me.
You insult my
I
heritage.
think my goal is.
Good.
I think my goal for the my big bucket list thing. I want to write a series. I don't know, preferably animation, because I do want to write for animation, just because a lot of the ideas for shows I have, I feel like they work better for animation than they do. Because a bit of context, audience, I write stuff that is like Hellsing Ultimate levels of bloody.
Yeah,
He
it's
does.
pretty
Um,
good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find
I
that
love that though.
I kind of find that suits
Like-
me best.
Like, my shit just has a bunch of etchy elements. He writes a lot of blood and gore.
I
like
just
that.
I don't
Yeah,
even disguise the smut that I write. I just go full for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah,
the fuck I'm
but, like,
doing.
my ultimate goal at the end of my life is to write, preferably in animation, but really whatever, that is on par. Not, I don't even want to say on par because I know it's never going to be, but like half on par with something like the creator of Chainsaw Man that just leaves you, like, you read it and you just kind of feel like it almost drives you to the point where you need to smoke.
Hell yeah.
It's just like,
Mm.
Yeah. Because there are so many moments when I was reading that where I don't even smoke and I just I want to like just lean my head against a wall and just like
Have that, yeah. for
Break
sure.
into Erin's house,
Yeah.
steal her nicotine patches. And she's like, what the hell are you
Hey.
doing? I need those.
I don't have nicotine patches. I have a vape. Thank you very much.
Okay, he steals your vape.
Dweeb.
weeb.
No, dweeb.
Do we?
Oh, they said weave. I'm like, what does that even
I'm
mean?
sorry, I
though.
have a vape. I just,
It's
you know,
This-
anxiety.
That's fine.
You know, having a vape is a gateway to getting a katana.
That is
You're
Yeah.
so right.
Oh my fucking god, can you imagine like cyberpunk fucking samurais with a vape built into
would-
their tech?
Oh god. Well, that's a
Oh
new
my
idea.
God.
Please don't.
Man,
Copyright. If anyone
good.
tries to
No
steal
one
that
can
from
write
me,
cyberpunk in this group now.
no, I'm gonna do it.
None of us are allowed now.
no,
yeah.
I have a
That's
D&D
fine,
idea
I-
for it. You can't fucking stop me.
that's fine. I draw pretty much exclusively dark, violent fantasy.
That's
Fair.
awesome.
I just want to say real quick, my thing, like my
Yeah.
personal number one, is still make that show I was saying earlier, that magnum opus thing, because that show was both like the first idea I had, the main character is the first character I created. The whole reason I got into writing was so that I could tell this story, and that story is so much of just a culmination of all my thoughts and my ideals and how I've evolved as a person. And
Mhm.
like that to me is like the most important story I will ever personally tell, and I don't go a day without thinking about it at least once. And so like when that show is made, and not if, it's gonna be when for me. I gotta keep saying when to myself.
Manifest.
When
that.
that-
Hell yeah.
When that show is made and when that show is finished, I will, when the credits roll in that final episode or whatever, I will turn to whoever's next to me and say, I can die now.
And then immediately
I have-
drop.
Yeah, just drop dead.
When that show gets made, I will probably be on the streets. So if you want to give me
Hey,
a job,
let's not put that
then,
energy out there.
Yeah.
You'll
Okay.
you'll
Okay.
be just
Um,
fine.
Aaron, we
Yeah.
didn't
But
get
no,
to you for your summary of what you're doing and where you want to be, though.
yeah, Aaron, tell us your life story.
Yeah, it's
Oh
your turn
man,
now.
my life story is long. I'll relate it kind of as a segue into it's really interesting to me that you guys have this like magnum opus project in your heads, because I don't really like, I have so many projects I want to make, like so
Yeah.
many all the time. There's always at least 3 ideas bouncing around in my head at any one given moment, but I don't have that like one project that's going to determine if like I'm happy or if I've made it or if whatever, because like, and not to get too dark with it, but
Mhm.
basically I never growing up planned to live past 20 years old. I just
Fair.
didn't. So I don't really, I'm in this weird stage now at, 22, 20 something, haha.
Oh.
Okay, title
of-
drop. We can end the episode now.
Yeah, really, I'll just shut up.
No,
I'm
Moving
in
on.
this state where I feel like I'm going through all of the like motions of figuring out what I want to be when I grow up, like that a lot of people went through in like high school or middle school, because I just didn't really plan to see a future. And so I'm like, well, wow, do I want to write for TV? Do I want to write movies? Do I want to make games? Do I want to write for stage? Do I want to write novels? Do I want to say fuck it and move to the East Coast and open up a coffee shop? Like I have so many things in my head that I want to do, and instead of doing any of them, I'm going back to school for another 2 years because I can't escape academics. Because that's
Well,
just who I
yeah.
am. I love studying. I love being a student.
Mhm.
And I feel like even after I graduate in 2 years, no matter how much I hate academics, I might still continue studying. Like that's always a risk for me. Like,
So
even
hearing
though-
that, I
Yeah.
guarantee you say that you're like, you feel like you're a little late on the whole phase of figuring out what
Well,
you want to be in life. But
No, because I don't even know that I'm late, because I know there's plenty of like 50, 60-year-olds out there who go through
Oh,
the
yeah.
crisis of, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I think
Oh, yeah.
everybody takes it in their own time,
And sometimes
but-
people will go through it multiple times.
hence a midlife crisis for sure. I'm just saying, like, in comparison to the 3 of us that aren't me here, Like, you guys have your projects, and I'm sitting here. I've always wanted to be the person who does everything. It's why, like, the whole reason I took script writing was because I want to open a game company someday. And I took IMD so that I could understand how animation works, how editing works, how audio and video works, so that I could have a hand in every single part of it.
Yeah.
For the reason, and I say this to make myself sound better, but, like, I genuinely, if I ever open a company, I want everyone to be treated fairly. Because I've grown up hearing all of these horror stories about game companies being shitty to their people, that I want to be able to pay my animators what they deserve, and I want to know the struggles that they go through. And I want to be able to pay my writers what they deserve, because I know the struggles that they're going through. Like, I want it to be a genuinely healthy company to the most that I can create.
Supergiant Games. Trademark right there. God damn. I want to work for them one day so bad. Or, like, work in a company similar.
Exactly. It would be so great.
I think my go-to game company, other than Erin's when she opens it up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can work for me, Will. I'll make sure you're not living on the street.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'll hire you.
Yes.
He'll live in the studio. Job. He's our security.
He's our security.
I turn into the guy from Stranger of Paradise.
Oh god. Yes.
I think my, like, other than Erin's, obviously, whatever it ends up being called, I think my go-to game company I would love to work for is Insomniac.
That's not a bad one.
See, Insomniac feels too big for me. I really like the small indie companies that have, like, 5-6 people that, like, all do it in-house, you know, like, a big company would be good to learn from. But if I ever do open a company, I don't want it to be too huge. I want to stay an indie development company, you know?
Yeah, that's fair, but I still want Insomniac because I want to work on Spider-Man.
That's fair. That's very fair.
That's my favorite. The Insomniac Spider-Man is my favorite version of that character. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think that's totally valid what you were saying, Erin, about school and all that.
Yeah, me and school are weird, man. I adore school. I've always considered myself an academic. I love learning. But I also recognize how fucking broken the education system is, and I hate it for that.
Oh, it is.
Because I
makes
feel
me
like
sick every time.
Right? Like, people shouldn't have to pay that much for knowledge, like, to better society. It doesn't resonate.
It's like,
especially considering the fact that you can get a lot of the info for free online.
But the problem is like getting the info for free, and let's say it's someone who can't just like have that knowledge, and even if there's like a step-by-step how-to, it doesn't register as well. Like for me, sometimes I need to be like handheld. I need the constant a teacher there that I can bother. That's what I did for Rick. Like of just like, am I doing this right? Do we need this? Yeah. Do we need this? And the problem is
Terry all the time. Plus, education is really good for forcing discipline in people, because especially creative people, we're not going to take a lot of time to sit down and make ourselves right unless we're having a grade imposed over our heads.
Oh, again, that was the whole reason why I took the script writing class.
Exactly. Yeah, same. It was a gift from me to me after doing fucking like before this I did bookkeeping and accounting, that certificate. I was fine with the concept of like keeping track of things, numbers, whatever. Fine. Doing the program sucked because half of my teachers were useless. The other half, I was like, fucking whatever. All right, fine. You do your job, it's fine. But it was also the stress of like, I will not get into detail, but I did have the invisible force behind me of like, I have to finish this. Otherwise, I've wasted money and I've wasted life. And it hurt because then I got into the point where at first I was fine because it was before COVID and I could like take a break. I could go with my friends. I could hang out there. We could be together and I wouldn't be alone toiling in my madness and having a fucking mental breakdown. But during COVID when I was doing script writing, yes, it was for me. I loved writing. It was awesome. But at the same time, it was like, and I told my mom this because I was just like, it was not a great headspace in general for school that I'm usually in. Of just like, if I don't focus 100% of my energy into this, I will fail. And if I fail, then that's thousands of dollars lost, and neither of us want that. Especially me, because it will destroy me. So just let me toil in this disgusting cycle I have, so I don't spiral into something worse. Like,
I have a question because I feel like a lot of us are either perfectionists or people who struggle with imposter syndrome. I'm curious, have any of you guys failed the class at any given point?
Yes.
Okay,
I got
high school...
kicked out of fucking college.
Really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's how I got to Algonquin in the first place.
Yeah. I don't have anything that crazy, but like in high school, I was kind of amazed that I passed, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I okay. So parents, if you're listening to this, just remember I did pass. So in my first program, second year, first semester, I failed an exam and I was not doing too hot in that class. So I failed that class the first semester, and I was going to fail it for the program and just fail that program. But thankfully, the professor was nice enough and he said, okay, if you can retake the exam, and I want you to do a profile interview with someone, but you have to do it all on your own. You got to take out cameras, you got to edit it yourself, you got to do all that by yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm a terrible editor, but I will see what I can do. And I thought I was fucked because I retook that exam one time and I failed it again. Thankfully, I did the interview on my stepsister, who was kind enough to do it, and that was enough to get me to pass. But I came so fucking close to failing that program, it wasn't even funny. To the point where the only reason I feel comfortable even mentioning it now is because enough time has passed for it to be funny.
That's fair. The main reason I ask is because, like, I find creative people are more prone to it. Maybe that's just me and the people I know. But, like, specifically, like, failing feels like such a just terrible, like, I will die if I fail.
It feels so personal.
I haven't really felt that for school. Like, I technically almost didn't pass the pre-animation thing because one class, and this was after COVID had started, so we were all scrambling to figure ourselves out.
Fair enough.
One class didn't give me the 1 mark I needed to get a passing grade on one project. Therefore, I didn't get the passing grade in the class, and I hounded this teacher for weeks.
Nice.
And I didn't really feel like, oh no, I failed. I was like, just give me the 1 grade, you bitch!
I terribly failed a couple universities.
I have another story about, like, high school, but that's, like, more of a personal thing that I'd have to prep
I was a
for.
try-hard in high school because all I had was educate. Like, I didn't do extracurriculars for, you know, their own reasons, and I didn't have a lot of friends because I was kind of terrible. But, like, all I did was study because that's all I had to do. Like, that's just what I did. And so when I got to university and I failed my first class, like, I was devastated.
Yeah.
I, like, had to call my parents sobbing about how I was a failure and, like, all of this shit. And, like, they were like, dude, fucking chill. You failed 1 math class. Math is hard. And I was like, oh. And, like, I feel like sorry, not to cut you off, just to, like,
no, it's fine.
Turn this into a lesson, as kind of I think this episode is hoping to be. Like, it's okay to fail or not know where you're going. Like, it's okay. We're only in our 20s. We have our whole lives to fucking fail. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. You know? Like,
life
that's
is
a part
about
of it.
failing.
That actually reminds me of a thing that I found. Like, I was going through Tumblr and I found a quote by Guillermo del Toro, because apparently he did a seminar or something. It was in Spanish, so I couldn't read it, but someone translated it, and it's pretty much that, like, people in their 20s, they're right in the point where that is their most desperate time, and it constantly feels like if we don't do something now, we fucking lost everything. and we've run out of
Yeah.
time. We are
Yeah.
physically at our peak, but we feel like we're in our 40s to 50s. And even then, in your
Yeah.
40s to 50s, you still got a lot of time. And what he said was
Yeah.
just like, listen, you have the time. You're fucking fine. Like, cool it. And like, it's so hard to take that seriously
To
because
heart,
like,
yes.
yeah, similar to you
Yeah.
of just like, it wasn't all that I had, but when I was in high school, that was my main focus. That is as far as my brain went of just like, okay, finish high school, but then what? And like
Mhm.
my mental health was not in a good place, and I was too focused on having to be basically a main like pillar of support in my household, which hurt. So I didn't have a lot of time to focus on myself, and then getting through school and making sure my brother passes classes and doing all this shit and blah blah blah. So school was kind of like on autopilot, and I was one of those quote unquote gifted children that I was like, it's fine. As long as I have a formula, I can work with this. Whatever. If I fail, whatever. I can figure it out. Like, it's high school,
Yeah.
they're not gonna give a shit. They don't really prepare you for anything. And then when I got to college, it felt liberating in a sense that there was a lot more flexibility, and there were still like the consistent formulas that you had to follow for certain things. But at the same time, it felt like a lot more responsibility and personal motivation that I did not have, and I was not prepared for, because most of the time when you're doing stuff when you're younger, you're doing it for other people. You're not doing it for yourself. As much as they say you're doing
Yeah.
it for yourself, the second that you say no to a thing, they're gonna be upset because you, in the grand scheme of things, don't really care, and it's not in your immediate interest. High school, we
Yeah,
don't
like,
give
whenever-
a fuck, dude. It's like, what are we learning?
Yeah, like whenever I failed a quiz or like a test, my concern was not, oh fuck, I'm failing this class. My concern was, oh fuck, this is a conversation I have to have with my
Yeah,
parents.
pretty much. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god, my parents are gonna be disappointed that I didn't do this thing that I don't care about.
Mhm.
I didn't. I literally, it got to the point where I had so many math tests that I needed to get signed that were failed that I tried forging them.
Oh yeah, I started forging.
Amazing.
The
Yeah.
only time I ever forged my parents' signatures was, funny enough, for something that I was really interested in doing, which was a manga workshop that we were doing in middle school. And I was like, fuck, I forgot to give this to my mom. I'll just forge her signature and do my manga class. Hell fucking
love
yeah.
Uh,
By the way, Mom, we're like
but-
12 years too late on that. I forged your signature. Whatever, we're good.
my
Gee, I'm
my
the only
teacher
good
saw
boy.
right through it.
I'm the only good boy in
No,
this family.
I
I've
didn't-
just
I
killed
didn't
a
forge
couple
anything.
people.
Don't let me in with this. I was a golden academic child.
I was.
I mean, I
pretty-
failed like shit all the time, but I mean, like, at least I didn't. I was just like plain average boy. Like, I mean,
No, that was the only time. Like, and like my parents know about this, so and this was like 7 years ago, which I don't like is true, but you know, I can talk about it. And it's the same thing with like me almost failing that. Like, enough time has passed for it to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like when I got to college, that was when I actually started giving a shit about school, because even though it was harder, I was like, okay, these people are clearly into the same stuff I am, because they wouldn't be doing the program otherwise. So automatically there's that, like, the people I was with were like that.
Okay.
So there was like some good chemistry right there. And then in high school for me was just the worst time in my life.
Same.
Because first of all, like I was a very lonely kid, which I didn't have a problem with. Like, this is like really sad, but like I would sit by a dumpster at lunch because there was an outlet there that I could charge my phone.
Aaron,
I had it. Hey,
Aaron,
hey,
we have to
Will,
hug him.
Will, I feel like you and me were similar, because I was the kid who was so lonely that like the faculty took notice, and I would eat my lunches in the biology teacher's room because I had no friends. So like,
No,
ooh.
If I could go back in time
Yeah,
and
okay,
meet like
no.
Lil Will and Lil
No, but
Aaron,
here's
I'd
the-
like scoop you guys up and
Lil
bring you
Will.
to the future and be like, "Don't worry, guys, we'll get
don't worry,
Yeah,
guys.
okay,
You
no.
you get to befriend more psychopaths like you.
exactly."
Hell yeah.
No, but here's the thing. I did have friends, but they had like other friends.
Right,
who they
you
would talk to.
weren't you weren't the main friend. I get that for sure.
Right, but also, when I did it at first, I wasn't lonely, because like here's the thing. I really value time just for me.
yeah, of course.
I don't always like. Look, I
Mhm.
love talking with all you guys, but no offense, like 24 hours a day talking to you. No,
Oh,
but that's
Yeah.
the case with
I
anyone.
You
couldn't
need
do
you
it.
Yeah,
time
no,
to
I
recharge.
like my
You
me
need
time.
you time, yeah.
Right? So
Even
you know,
even
I
with
kind
my
of really
like even with my partner, like I just need time to do my own shit, and he knows that. Like
Kitty,
that's
quit
what it
clawing on my
is.
Yeah.
door. I'm doing a podcast.
But yeah, no, like, because I didn't feel lonely at first doing it. I was just like, you know, like I have my friends. I know they exist. We say hi to each other. And we do hang out outside of school. The only time I really got like lonely was when my mom kept pointing it out.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh.
Because she would always be like, because I was perfectly fine doing this. Like, sure, like it was like in hindsight, yes, it is sad that I would sit next to a dumpster just because there's an outlet there that I could charge my phone. I get that and I understand that. I was more than happy to do it. Like, I didn't feel like left out or anything. But I had a friend who I'm still friends with her. But she would tell her mom, and then we were neighbors, so my mom found out through her mom.
Mhm.
And then my mom would do that thing where she's like, "You don't hang out with people at lunch? Like, aren't you lonely?" I'm like, "Not really." And then it was like a continual thing where she would just keep asking me.
Huh.
And each time it would kind of like break, because here's the thing, I really mean this. I did not feel lonely. I did not
No,
feel
100%.
left out. I was
I
perfectly
understand
happy.
what you mean, and that reminded me of a thing. One of my best friends told me about this, of when she was growing up. Funny enough, another person that was technically registered as a gifted child in the school system, by the way, fuck that entire concept, ruins
it's bullshit.
children. But
Yeah.
like, for her, what else that she ever did in elementary school and everything was like sit alone and read books. And it got to the point where when her mom found out, I forget if it was through like school faculty or anything, she was worried that her daughter was getting bullied. She asked her, and she's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm just reading books." Like, and it feels the same.
go
Like,
ahead.
yeah, it feels like the same one now. Of I like to spend a lot of time by myself. Throughout quarantine, I was one of the few people where I was like, I'm okay with being secluded in my room for hours because I'm
Same.
making up for lost
Oh,
time of having to interact with people and being an extrovert.
Bro,
And my mom would constantly
My-
ask me, it's like, do you want to hang out upstairs? Like, why are you alone in your room all the time? And it's just like, it got to the point where I was tired, and I knew if I tried to explain, she just wouldn't get it. So it was just like,
Yeah,
fuck,
like,
dude.
because my siblings are both very social, and I'm really not. But like, you guys are the people who I really talk to the most. But you know, it's just like, okay, if I'm gonna tack a message onto this, if you are like lonely, or just enjoy being alone, that's fine.
You're
you don't need
allowed.
to be
You're allowed to be an introvert, and don't let any society make you feel
Yeah.
shitty for that. Just
If you
because
want to
it's
be
tailored to
secluded in your
extroverts.
house or something, fuck anyone that says don't. Okay, well, have a little social interaction, but like, you
Yeah,
don't
have
need
a
to
little.
kick it into overdrive. You don't need to do that.
Like, my dad says that I was practicing my entire life for COVID because
Woo!
it was essentially just an excuse to stay inside and
Fucking
play
awesome.
video
It was
game.
great.
Yeah. And then people would come up to me, like my mom would be like, "Don't you want to invite friends over?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm playing Persona 5. I am with friends."
Also,
True.
aren't you more worried that we could potentially die? So I have
Yeah.
a reasonable excuse for being alone.
Yeah. So fuck you, Mom.
Don't say that.
And
She's
on
gonna
that
hear this.
note,
Victoria.
Victoria, how about we talk about you and your future? What are your thoughts? You asked to be saved for last, so
Oh, that's
you know,
true.
I feel
That
like
was a
I feel like
mistake.
we might need some therapy at some point, but you
Oh,
know, it's
boy.
okay.
Oh, I do, which is in my plans. So it's the thing.
Good.
So I don't know. I think where I am right now, like if I look back to, and now that you guys know, I was kicked out of college in like 2017, 2018, because I think when I got
Still
into
in high
college,
school.
oh yeah, it's because for Quebec you get out of high school a year earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so fuck you
What?
guys. It was not that lucky, I'll be honest.
Wait,
but
so
the
what
thing-
year did you get out of high school? 2017?
So 2016? No,
No, that can't have been.
2017. It was
Okay,
2017.
so we got out at the same time. Then.
I was 16 years old at the time because I
Yeah.
age a little slower than everyone else.
All right,
so-
vampire, calm down.
Yeah, so I can 100% say every time I graduated high school at 16, fuck you guys. But like, I went into
Damn, you
college.
did the speed
Oh
run.
yeah, I did. I went to college, and like, I'll be honest, the only reason I did it at the time was because that's just what people did. And like,
Oh, yeah.
being an overachiever is just a thing that is in my family, especially for my mom. And it's like, it hurt because it got so ingrained into my just concept of being that if I was not doing anything at any given moment that was considered productive, I was failing. And it's still in me sometimes, and it hurts. But especially at the time
think that.
Yeah, I still think that
Yeah.
sometimes, and it's hard to get out of. And I really have to, like, you know, fucking stand there and hold my ground and be like, no, I'm allowed to relax and do nothing. Like, even if it's not gonna result in anything. But, like, at the time, my life was so dependent on making sure that my mom didn't know that, like, the things that I was doing, I did not actually want to be doing. Like, going into the liberal arts program, it was interesting, sure, but it got to a point where the motivation for it immediately lessened within a semester, and it was slowly going down and down and down. And I didn't want to tell her because I knew the second that I tell her, she'd be disappointed. And I didn't want that because, like, that's where my source of validation came from, mainly. It always comes from other people, and it hurts a lot. So when I got kicked out, it was a nightmare. I had a breakdown and all that shit. And my mom, on the other end, yes, she was upset. And, like, that aspect of it all still hurts because even at the end of the day, during that entire time where I was just not in school again for about a year, it was like having to deal with me being alone with my feelings and my unchecked mental health and having nowhere to go with it because I couldn't find the right therapist until I could get out of the house and do other stuff. And at the very least, despite the fact that we were not on the same level when it came to me dealing with my health, we were still on the same level of, okay, how do we move forward from this? So it's mainly her that the reason that, like, I got a new job. Like, that was mostly my effort, but I got a new job, went back to school in Algonquin, did the accounting program, got it finished, and I felt a lot more grounded in just, you know, being a person in society that was productive. And unfortunately, that completely ignored my mental health issues. And those came back in COVID, of even though I got to be an isolationist, and it was awesome. I got back into school and realized that, wow, doing school hurts right now. Like, it was still something fun, but it hurt a lot. And I couldn't do anything else without immediately straying off the path and collapsing. So after school finished, I'm glad that I got to finish it, and I won't be going back for a while. I don't know if I'll ever go back, but for the time being, it's just like, I'm working, I have money, I can do whatever I want, chill out with people, do all that stuff. But in the future, some of this is more recent stuff of just like, I want to go see a doctor. Like, I really do.
Yeah.
I want to go have an appointment with my doctor again and figure out what the hell's going on with me. Of just like, my hormones may be out of whack. My brain is not functioning well. I need to have a new mental health counselor or a therapist or something that works for me, and, you know, get all that shit sorted and focus on myself. That is the overall goal of separating my currently solidified concept of validation via other people's approval, because that has been the backbone of a lot of things for me for too long, and it needs to stop. And honestly, I feel like if I can deal with that, then that will definitely help me in other aspects, especially when I'm doing writing, because that's just the thing that I love at my core. And growing up, I always saw, you know, authors and writers of all kinds doing their thing, but it was never, you know, validated that I could do that as a job if I worked hard enough. No, it was, you'll have to work hard for it, you shouldn't do it, which I took as, oh, okay, I guess I don't have the willpower for it. All right, then I guess I won't do that. I'll go for the normal job and just, like, you know, pine for the thing that I actually want. Now that I know I can do it as a profession, yes, with some sacrifice, but I'm okay with that. As long as I'm fucking happy with what I'm doing. then I'm okay with that. And like, I don't know what I want to do in the future. Like, currently the TV pilot that I wrote, I didn't know what to do with it as like a full concept, so I translated that into, okay, what if this was a book? And that helped. And I have like 5 books in a series outlined, and I'm still working on that. That's great. I have my film script that I haven't finished yet, but I do want to finish it, and I have ideas on how to expand from that as well. And, you know, TV concepts and doing stuff for YouTube and doing a bunch of shit. Like, I just want to explore a lot of different aspects of writing and performing and doing all that stuff, because like, I feel like that's where my home is. That is where I want to go if I want to like be in my safe space and be happy, because it's always been hard for me to let people know how I'm feeling, like in its rawest form, and that always comes out in my writing. So that is where I go when I want to be in my safe space and let people know how I'm feeling. I'll still get very anxious, but that's where I want to be. And that happens in D&D as well. And that's what I want to do for other people too, and help them. It's like, you may not be able to communicate with people one way, but when you watch this thing or when you listen to this thing, you understand it and you feel it at your core, and I'd be happy to provide that validation for you.
Yeah. Victoria, you know what? You have my approval.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You should
do that,
need
you're
my
idiots.
validation, but if you want it, you certainly have my love and support.
I
always.
guarantee, I know for a fact that like, you guys got my back at the very least, and for my friends, I know the same.
Got you, fam.
Like, I always have those doubts in my head, but like, I know it's a thing and that I've got to work on, and that's just a personal thing of mine. But at the very least, I know that I worked hard to create like a social group that I'm around of people that I can trust if I'm like ever hurt or in trouble or just want to talk or anything like that. And if I was gonna do anything a bit more recent, or let's say go back to school, then I'm probably gonna like go into like psychology or like counseling. I really wanted to try that aspect out just to see how it goes, and maybe that'll inform my writing a bit more in the future if I'm not too interested. But yeah, I think that's where I want to be.
And hey,
you just did like so many emotions.
In the meantime, we've all put together a very strange podcast.
Yeah,
that is true.
Honestly, I just want to say, like, if any of you feel down, Victoria, Will, Erin, or any of our listeners, if you ever feel down, I just want you to picture you look out on the road and a red and blue semi truck pulls up.
Oh my god.
And he just transforms, and Optimus Prime in his amazing Peter Cullen voice.
I never
just
loved
says,
Optimus as much as Nick hypes him up, and I'm just like, God, I need that man to be.
No, you need to.
I cannot hype him up as much as like the scene in the Transformers the movie where the touch plays. I just need to hang out in like the cockpit and just like lie down on the seats, like as the heater's on. He's just comforting me while music's playing. That's what I want.
You know what? I lied.
Just playing.
I lied in saying I don't have a solid life goal, because I think now ultimately I can say I someday want to write a character that gets as much thirst as Nick and Victoria has for Optimus Prime.
I don't have thirst.
You clearly haven't heard, Erin. You clearly haven't heard some of the thoughts I've had about Yor from Spy Family.
Exactly. Right. I want to create that for someone. I just want, one person to write a fanfic for a story I've done, and I will have.
You want to create a character so loved that when they kill him off in the movie adaptation, you get a bunch of hate mail from angry mothers. And then you have to bring them back because you realized how terrible of a mistake you made.
Mm-hmm. But
anyway, all this to say,
on that note, we will say we should wrap it up now because we've gone a little over. But like, just
the season finale is approaching.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A little long, but I think we got some really good points in here.
Yeah,
we got some good points in the whole season. This has been really great.
Absolutely.
The real 20-something was the friends we made along the way.